But I think from an England perspective, it should help us, provided we top our group. We stay in England, we stay at Wembley for, I think, pretty much the whole tournament. If we come second, I think that then we have to go play in Copenhagen, which it's not too far, I guess, but yeah, not a home advantage gone. So yeah, I think it would make a difference.
Is it the same for the Italian team? Is it like the Italian team also playing everything at home? Group stages?
Yeah. Like I said, yeah, we play all at home, which is like, I think it's only good for the home team. But I was curious to know from JCC, because like my whole timeline is it's coming home every 4 years. It's coming home. Is it actually coming home? Is it actually?
Of course, it's coming home. The thing is I feel like it's coming home until I look at the other team's squads and I'm like, oh, so Portugal, oh, so France, so Italy. And the Netherlands don't look that bad. And you just kind of look through and you're like, okay. Like, it has become a meme in this country. It just is something that gets us all together and we have a laugh about it. I do believe this is one of the biggest chances we'll have in terms of what we've already spoke about, the home advantage, the talent that we've got. And I'd be interested to know your guys' opinions from not being English. Like, the talent we've got at the moment, and our mainstream media and us as a population are talking about this like this is the best team we've ever had. And I don't know what you guys think. What do you think about that, Stallion, from an Italian perspective? Do you see that, or?
I mean, what I find interesting is how, well, I don't know if it's like a cultural thing or it's just you, but like the fact that you look at other teams and then you start like going back on the meme. Whereas I feel like for us, no matter how garbage we are, we always like as a nation, even if we're negative in a one-off game, I feel like, at least personally, I don't care how good the other team is. Like, I know that on a one-off, anything can happen.
I can completely see that because you've been on the right side of history of it.
So many times.
20 years. Like, you've always proved it. Like, you have never really had the best team, maybe apart from 06. And you kind of like, you still find a way, you still find a way.
Especially the last 10 years. But like England scares me more than usual. Like so many times I'd be like, just wait for them to lose and everyone's going to like shut up. This time I feel like there's a lot more quality, but at the same time, like there's so many matches where despite the quality, the football is so bad, which it's not as big of a deal because like in international football, things like set pieces carry so much more weight and it's a lot less tactical and you don't have to play as well to win, but at the same time you would think that they would do more like things like when Germany played well, holy balls, they played well, you know what I mean? And I would expect that as well from a team like England, but for some reason from the outside looking in, it looks like there's always that gear missing where you play so well that you scare your opponents. Whereas
I completely agree. Yeah, completely agree with that.
What's the vibe been like in the UK with, Euros and because it was an interesting topic I saw on David Vujanic and Poet's like show they talked about, which was saying like the UK media is looking at what's the easiest route, what's the best way. Like they're talking about potentially finishing, I think, second in the group because then they get a better spot. Like I can't remember, like maybe you know better about this. An easier potentially spot in another group. Yeah, so is that like the right mindset to have even?
I believe we play whatever team. If we were to come second, we would likely play Poland based on the fact that they're I think it's like maybe they're favourites for their group. We'd obviously play...
Poland's favourite in the group with Spain?
It's something like if we come second, I looked into this. If we come first, I'm pretty sure around a 16... Yeah, that's what it is. So, Nelly, if we come first, the first game we're going to have in the round of 16 after the group is the team who comes second in that Portugal, Germany, France group. So it's like you have round of 16, and you may be like the most English thing that I can ever imagine to tell you that would happen would be draw against Croatia 1-1, uninspiring, really dead game. Draw against Scotland 1-1, like what's going on? Win our last game of the group against Czech Republic, like 2-0, and everyone's like, yeah. And then it's like France, just like, right? And we're like, shit. And then you've had 2 terrible warm-up games, but it all comes back to like what Stallion says with us, like we just don't seem to play. I mean, listen, our heads will explode if we go and beat Croatia 3-0 because it would be something we haven't seen. Like, even we're so used to like having these incredible teams going to a tournament, and even if we win, it's like I remember when we beat Wales in the World Cup, and it was like the whole country was partying. It was like 2-1 Daniel Sturridge 90th minute winner. How is it taking that to beat Wales? Like, you should be 4-0ing Wales, but I don't know. I'm excited but nervous, and I think that the talk of finishing second and planning that is just media and fans. There's no way the team sat there like, all right, tactical draw, lads. Like 1-1
Yeah,
against.
right.
Like, it's just not happening. But yeah, I do think on the plus side, the last thing I'll say on it is if you do face a Portugal or a Germany or France and you win, then the tournament's in your hands, in my opinion. Like, if you knock a big boy out like at that stage and you go into the quarterfinals, you should be confident. You should you shouldn't be afraid of anyone at that point.
You know
So,
what I want to say about France? They just won the World Cup, right? And I think a lot of people are taking it for granted that they'll go back to back tournaments. And I don't think they realize how odd that is in international football. So Spain did that with 08, 10, then 2008 Euro, 2010 World Cup, 2012 Euro. But that was weird. Like, that doesn't usually happen. And for Italy, I know that's not possible because we're too Italian to win 2 times in a row. So once we win, we'll celebrate for like 20 years, 15 years, something like that. Then we'll try again. France, I feel like, I don't know, maybe they can do it, they cannot. But like I've seen Germany win the World Cup and then shit the bed, and then so it's like it wouldn't surprise me if France shut the bed, because at the end of the day, they're world champions, and you gotta ask, the target is on their back, and they're gonna have people try so hard against them, and it's like, are they gonna be on that same like just hunger? Because in 2006 they lost in pens. In 2008, they did shit, and it just kept being shit despite having such good teams. So it's like, there's usually the champions tend to fall. Like, Spain is an exception. So, I mean, if England faced France, I would kind of be like watching that game, be like, let's see if they dethrone them.
Because also, if England were to play France, it probably means that France have lost one of those games against Germany or Portugal. And like you say, if I don't know what their first game is, but say it's Portugal. You lose to Portugal and you're French, you're starting to panic. You go, we've got to win our next 2 games, and one of them's Germany. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we see one of those big boys crash out or take a third place, but not look very good.